this. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Project 24. My name is Adrian, and tonight we have a very special guest. We've got Johannah Venti,
Yep.
social media influencer. How are you? How are you doing? How's everything?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just so excited to be here with you, Adrian, and of course your podcast, which is new but exciting and fresh. So I just wish you all the success. I just wanted to make sure I got that out there before I forgot.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very humbled. I very really appreciate that. It's been fun though. I'm enjoying what I'm doing here. I'm posting a couple times a week and got like a little setup in my basement now. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. So thank you though. I um yeah, so yeah, like what's been going on with like how has been like the lockdowns been? How have you been managing your time or using your time with it? Yeah, just kind of maybe explain that if you want.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So let's backtrack to a year ago.
Yeah.
I was busy with school. I'm still in school. This is my second degree, and
Oh,
I actually started teaching a dance class, which I implemented at Seneca. Like I wrote the whole program and everything, and that was my first time. Oh yeah, the viewers wouldn't know this. I got a concussion in 2016, so I wasn't able to do any physical activity until this last year, so 2020. So now come back to the fitness center. This is my first time, being active. And so, me, I love to dance and whatever. So I was like, how can I spread dance in Seneca community? So I did that and whatever. And it was once a week commitment, but like I was so tired that one session and it was only 60 minutes. But I got such good feedback, and the students were a mixture of actual Seneca students and Seneca faculty members. And they were like, Johanna, you're so good at dancing and stuff. Like, can we do private things and whatnot? And I was like, well, I'll see because I'm really busy. I'm a student and whatever. But like on that note, I was posting on TikTok, but not really, like it was just something to scroll and have fun with. Um,
yeah, it was kind of getting started too, right? Because it started getting popular around that time, and obviously before the lockdowns. But yeah, that's sorry. Go ahead though. I just
no,
thought
no,
I'd
no,
add
no problem.
that.
No problem.
Yeah,
But like I would always keep up with the trends and stuff, and that's how I would get the viral music to play in my dance classes, and people would cross reference and be like, "Oh, that's a TikTok song," and I was
yeah,
like, "Yeah, yeah, it is." And they're like, "You have such a like on camera personality. Why is that?" I'm like, honestly, it's just me being me. Like that's how I am in real life. And they're like, "Oh, that's cool," and I was like, you know what? If I can go and change a Seneca community, what's not to say that I couldn't do the same thing online, right? Like put my presence online. So my thing was, you know what? Finish the school year, save up and get a better phone because at that time I had a really bad Android phone and the quality wasn't good. Like it looked like I was from
yeah,
a microwave.
yeah. I remember those days. I finally joined the team iPhone as well, so
Yes,
you already know. There you
yeah,
go.
I was glitching and whatever, and like, my post would only get 2 likes, 4 likes, because nobody knows who I am, right? And no one
Of
wants to
course.
watch the microwave content.
You got to start somewhere though. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, hey,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's so true. Yeah. So, I actually was super, super busy that week, and that would have been exactly a year ago, actually, because we were doing mock interviews and stuff. Because my profession, we're clinicians, so we work in healthcare, and so everything was very like, go, go, go. You got to get ready for your placement, and I was kind of like, oh, I need a break. And then all of a sudden, the whole entire earth just stopped.
Shut down. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that must have been yeah, like honestly, I had trouble adjusting too. Like for a while, just just everyday life is just, you're on the grind and you're just doing your thing. And then yeah, I just one day they're like, oh yeah, everything's done. And you're just like, oh God, like yeah, personally it's one of those things too. I think I've adjusted. I think most people have adjusted to what's going on right now. I mean, but yeah, I was gonna ask. I do remember when you did have when you had the concussion you said in 2016. I do remember that, and
Yeah.
tell if you can tell us how the recovery process for that because you said it. I think it took a couple of years. I think if I'm correct, right? Like
Yeah.
you got cleared 4 years later to do physical activity. Like tell us how hard that recovery process must have been.
Oh yeah,
That's serious.
super super hard. I mean, a lot of people see me as, oh, Johanna the dancer, right? But I was also Johanna the athlete. Like I played 4 years varsity soccer, basketball,
Oh, okay.
floor hockey, whole Muay Thai martial arts, right? Never once did I hit my head in any of those sports, right? So when that happened, it was a practice night on the competitive. I went to York University, by the way. Shout out to York
Yeah.
University.
Hey, gotta give shout out to York. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't my partner's fault. I mean, freak accidents happen, and I just unfortunately landed on the back of my head. And the thing was, I didn't have any symptoms. I just said, "Oh, my head hurts." Like, let me just call it a night and whatever. And then the next day, I felt really groggy and disgusting, and I thought, it probably just honestly, it didn't even phase me that it was a concussion, and I have all this health knowledge and whatever. I just thought I hit my head really badly. I just need an ice pack. And that day, actually, my friend wanted to go visit our high school, and she came and picked me up. It was an ice storm too, and
Mm.
I was sitting there trying to talk to one of the teachers, and I couldn't formulate sentences. Time was going
Oh,
so slow. My head was pounding. Right, it still hasn't clued in. Whatever. So my friend
wow.
takes me to the doctor. This is a random walk-in clinic, and they're like, "Oh, you're completely fine. Like you're not showing any of the tremors or anything. You're not leaning. Your eyes are fine. Whatever." So I'm taking the doctor's word for it. Doctor said I'm fine. I'm fine. 2 weeks later, I am slowing down. I go up to a banquet hall. The sound is irritating and whatever. I feel like I want to vomit and whatnot. And I'm like, something is not right with me. Why am I randomly collapsing? Whatever. So I go back to another doctor and like, look, something feels weird. And they're like, it's probably because you haven't been exercising for a while. And this is doctor number two. Like you would think by now somebody would have clocked it. But long story short, when you don't get something diagnosed right away, you are breaking down each day. It's making the thing worse. And I have to say, I thank God for intervening, because should I have fallen within that 2 weeks, I could have died, right? Because you don't know what's going on in that brain swelling and stuff and whatnot.
Hmm.
But from that 2 weeks, 3 week span, when I finally got diagnosed that it was a concussion, I spent 5 months in isolation because I couldn't walk for more than 30 seconds. I couldn't
Oh, wow.
take in light. I couldn't take in smells and whatever. I could barely look at my screen, right? And parents thought maybe it was a little bit of depression because I had to stop dance cold turkey, right?
That
Um,
must have been hard.
yeah, so it wasn't until, yeah, like I said, 5 months later, I went to a chiropractor, and thank God he released some pressure on my neck. So a lot of symptoms alleviated then, but I still couldn't really function and be my full self.
Yeah.
And it was very, very difficult because I couldn't afford the therapy you needed to go to. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know what? I need to take the degree I already have and make it work. How can I make this work? And so I enrolled myself in a beginner's dance class, which was very hard because it's like pretending you're a NHL pro, you're playing for the Leafs, and then
Yeah.
you knock out, and now you have to go back to, I don't know, the Rangers and Bond or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, or something like yeah. No, that yeah, that must have been yeah, that's like, a player like in playing for the Leafs and then again he gets a concussion and then he's got to play with the Marlies or the lower tier affiliates, right? It's same kind of thing. It's
Hmm.
it's a really big mental game in that sense too.
Yeah.
Because when you're used to being, in, like an elite like competition and more or less yeah, that can really be hard on your minds and because you want to get back to um that point and that what's the word, oh my god, I learn out of words, but hopefully you know what I mean.
I do.
but but yeah, like how hard was that though, like again from being like basically like professional dancer to like like a beginner, like almost like a beginner class, right? Like how hard was that?
It,
um
it was very, very difficult. It was like, when you're in a dream and you have to run away from a murderer and you can't run,
yeah.
and you can run. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it was.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that must, yeah,
Mm,
that's a really tough mind game. You don't still have like symptoms, right? Because I know like concussions, they never kind of go away. It's one of those things, from what my understanding is like you still keep feel like have your days where you kind of get the dizzy spells and things like that. Are you symptom free now?
I
Like
wish I was symptom
fully?
free. We need more research in this area. I still
Okay.
have visual problems. I can't tolerate a lot of light. My left ear, I am sound sensitive. I have to walk around with ear muffs at all times, or at least have earplugs just in case.
Okay.
Um, my brain speed now, I think too quickly, and it gets frustrating because I know what people are gonna say, and I want to jump in. So I do think that it caused undiagnosed adult ADHD. And I
Oh,
know that because I studied it, right?
yeah.
But I have to go through the system and, have them tell me that I have something.
Yeah,
But
you know like
mm,
sorry, you know this, like you already know the symptoms beforehand, but it's just like getting diagnosed with it. It's like a whole other thing, right? It's like through the medical system, yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
when you think about it, it took me 5 years to finally live a normal life in terms of, I have a part-time job, I am in school, and I'm also, active on social media. And I wish that took me 2 weeks because people I know have had concussions and they've been okay in a few days, they've been okay in a few weeks, but not me, right?
Yeah, it's hard though. Like I don't know if you remember back then too, but like Sidney Crosby had those like two
Yeah.
concussions, and it took like over a year, like I think like over a year to recover, and it was just again like a light, nonchalant, like he collided with somebody. His guy I think it was elbow or shoulder hit him in the head. It was like yeah, it looked kind of bad, but then, it was a whole year recovery. And yeah, yeah, I do agree with you. They do a lot of research on like the CTE, but I do agree like they got to put more, I think, more funding and more education and research into concussions, because like that is the worst injury I think anybody can have. It just, again, you can hurt your ankle or your foot or your knee. 9 out of 10 times you'll fully recover. But a
Mhm.
concussion, it never goes away, and like it's horrible. I've never had one, luckily. I mean, I've hit my head so many times, too many times, I think, but I haven't like, I've had, where I got like concussion. Like I never had concussion though. I've been pretty lucky in that sense. But
That's
I'm
good.
glad you're, yeah, yeah. I'm glad you're doing better with that though.
Yeah.
That's no problem. I remember that for a while. Um, I think one of the parties we had there, and I remember everyone was really loud, and
Yes.
I saw you sitting down, and you were looked like you're in a lot of pain. I was like, oh, I feel so bad for her, and even I started yelling at, like, because we were joking around about something. I was like, oh, I better not do that, because like I knew you're having a tough time with it, so I was like, oh, I felt bad, but
Oh,
um. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing better now. You got cleared. You're pretty much symptom free now, and that's good though. So last March you got cleared, or sorry?
about January-ish. Yeah. So just over a year now. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah. So for your social medias, that was pretty cool last year when oh my God, sorry, it was with Cardi B when she shared your video on her Instagram story. It was right with the WAP challenge.
Yeah.
And and how did that how did that help your, in terms of your platforms? How much do you think that helped you, and in terms of getting more likes and views and whatnot? So yeah.
Right. So when I started posting more on TikTok, because I really wanted to, my goal was originally reach 100K. I
Yeah,
started that in July, and I was doing the, 5 videos a day, whatever. And I kind of got burnt out in August because I was like, I'm putting so much time and effort. It's not really going anywhere. Obviously, I was thankful for who was following me because I don't see it as a number. I see it as a support, like real
of
people.
course, yeah, like real, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, real people, right?
yeah.
Um, so I was getting tired, and then I was like, you know what? Well, I have my iPhone now. The WAP challenge just came out, and it's finally a dance that's more than this, you know?
Yeah, yeah, with all your arms and your yeah, your upper body. Yeah, it's
Yep.
true.
So I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this dance. So I drove to the park and I spent an hour in like 40 degrees weather because the sun was nice, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Just stick it out. And over and over, I was doing the walk, doing the walk. And I could see the workers at the park kind of like, what is this girl doing? Like I know I was on their Snapchat story.
No way.
Like I could see them. They're like,
Pull up their phones. Hey, if you ever saw those, obviously you probably don't even they probably don't know them, but like if you ever what do you call it? If you ever
see
come
it?
across those again, those stories, or if you ever did, you can just reshare it and be like, yeah, and now I'm viral because of that. So and you can kind of like just play it off like that. But that's awesome.
Yeah. So
There.
what
That's
what happened
awesome. Married to
was
the game.
so that night actually I went home and I was editing and I was just like if I want to go viral because I did go viral before that, but it was just for some random thing that really didn't showcase my personality. And I was like, well, I want to showcase who I am, right? Not some off of some
Yeah.
random video.
Yeah.
Right. So I posted it to TikTok and no views, like 100 views, maybe one or two likes or something. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I was like, you know what? Let's take this to Instagram. So I posted on Instagram and a fan account of Cardi's commented and reposted it to their account. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Got like 70 likes. Next morning, I try to log on to my Instagram. It's frozen. And I'm like, what's going on? Right?
Oh shit.
I'm like, I can't get onto Instagram. I was like panicking. I was like, hey, whatever, maybe I should go out and run some errands or something. I come back, I finally open it, and my thing like tapped out at 99 notifications or something. But I go to click it and I just see incoming
Oh
notification.
man.
And I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And I'm like, on what? And then I go to my post, and then as I'm at my post, notifications are coming in and flooding, whatever. And all I kept seeing across the top of my screen was, girl, Cardi B reposted you. Cardi B reposted you. Check Cardi B's story. Cardi B, Cardi B, Cardi B. And I was like, so I go and I see it, and I'm just sitting there in awe. And what was really funny to me or ironic was that night before when I was like, I'm not going viral. I had a conversation with myself, and I was like, look, if it's meant to be in God's plan, then you will be a social media influencer. If it's not, He's
Facts.
protecting you from something. So then you won't be one. So you need to accept that. And when I
Yeah.
accepted that, the next day I went viral, right? So I sat there and I put my phone aside because I knew I was getting a lot of likes and whatnot. I prayed for an hour, Adrian. I was like, thank, thank God. And I was also like, you know what? Don't let this get to my head. I want to be a content creator, but I don't want to, I don't want it to change me, whatever,
Of
and all
course.
that. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, now you can go look at the post. So I looked at the post, and it was like 100K likes at the time or whatever. Now it's
Wow.
some like 300K likes or something and shares.
Not
And
bad at all. Oh
but
yeah.
but yeah, it was crazy, and I was just like, you know what? Wow, this was the validation I needed to just be myself because Cardi B she's from the Caribbean, lives in New
Mhm.
York, family in New York, but she's half Trinidadian, and I'm Trinidadian,
Oh,
right?
I was about to ask that. She's half Trinidadian. Oh, that's
Half
cool.
Trin
Okay.
So
There you
to
go. You
have
got that
somebody who is like
connection.
you in the public eye validate what you're doing, I was like, I just need to continue being myself. Cardi B liked what I did. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Just yeah, that's good. I was like, yeah, I remember when you posted it on your I think it was on your story as well. And I
Mm,
think you posted it like as like an actual like Instagram post too, if I'm correct. And
yes.
like I saw that and then I checked the Cardi B, like her Instagram account, and I was like scrolling through and like looking at all the ones that she shared. And then I saw yours, I was like, oh shit. I was so happy. I was like, "Oh my God, she made it!" Yeah, I mean, I'm still so happy for you. That's awesome. And like you said, it was meant to be. And you have obviously you did before, like you did have a base before, but you have a bigger base now, which is
Mhm.
awesome, you know. And now you have like a big platform, and that's pretty awesome. No, that's living the dream right there, though, for sure. I love it. It's awesome. um, I know you're hosting a. I think is it a? It's not a podcast, is it? Your show that you host.
It's Instagram
Uh,
Live.
Instagram Live. Okay, okay, that's cool. What is the content based around that?
So you're right when you say living the dream because I got seen off of TikTok by this
Mhm.
company called Tempo Networks, which is a big media company, just like how you have MTV. It's a big one, and it airs in the States and also,
Oh.
of course, the Caribbean. And they took me on and they're like, you know what, we like your personality and whatever, and like, let's see what you have to offer. And I did like a trial thing, and me and the boss, we just hit it off, and it was great. And he's like, well, I want you to manage the sub account because they have the big one, Tempo Networks, but then each of the Caribbean islands has their own Instagram. So he's like, you know what, I'm going to give you Tempo Trinidad. You're going to be the host and whatever and whatnot. So I was just thinking, okay, hostess and probably some, other TikTokers or something, which I have interviewed. Um, but I wasn't expecting like big international celebrities, right? Like it's just like I'm liaisoning with people who are top tier celebrities internationally,
Mhm.
right? And to have them on my Instagram live, and I'm just like the progression from Cardi B to I'm not sure if you know these artists, but like Farmer Nappy and like Ricardo Drew and like these are big Soca Monarch people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like oh. But like,
That's
yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. That must be like overwhelming, but in like a good way though. That's awesome though. Um, so like, do you have like aside from that, like, do you have like sponsorships? I know you had the Amazon one. We talked about that in the summer, I think it was. You had the Amazon influencer program, I think you signed up for. So do you have a sponsorship with them, if I'm correct, right? Or
It's kind
discount
of
kind of?
it's more like a brand ambassador because brand ambassador is a little
Oh,
different from a full-on sponsorship. But I
true,
have
true.
the Amazon one. I have one with Space Lights. I did a one-time deal with I'm forgetting their name, ramen cooker company. They were in on Shark Tank. Um,
Oh, Shark
yeah.
Tank. Oh, that's cool.
Uh,
That's pretty awesome.
that. I'm looking to do another one with a brand called Live Love Soca. They're the ones who gave me that really cool Trinidad flag outfit.
Yeah, I did see that. That's
That
cool.
one. But I don't want to say I've been picky with brands, but I have gotten a lot of brands wanting to work with me. But there's a difference between, working with a brand as a professional and then them trying to scam you because they think it's, free exposure and whatever. When it's just like I am a professional in my field. We need to do this in a way that we both win.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
that's true because there are some of these brands like I even me like I've gotten like these like brand ambassador like DMs from like these clothing companies in like Europe and stuff, and just I'm kind of like not too sure if like if they're real or not. I don't really trust it, and like but they give you like a code kind of thing,
Yeah.
like a
At this,
discount code for their products, but I'm just like again, are you? They're like, oh, we'll pay you for every sale. We'll give you a portion. I was like, are you sure about that? Or are you just kind of using me for that? Like, you're probably just like some spam account. So like, I do get what you mean. Like, you don't want to, you kind of have like, you want to have the trust, but you want to benefit yourself too, as, like you said, like in your profession, right? And yeah, that's for sure. Um, do you have any like future goals for the platforms, or just keep on posting doing what you're doing, keep on you doing you? That's the future?
That,
Yeah.
that's basically it. In terms of my
Good.
Instagram, I don't know if you were following this, but I think I was shadow banned at one point. I mean, for I don't know
Oh,
why, but they did take away my Reels access, and Reels was helping me grow, and I grew a big amount in a short period of time. It was about 10,000 followers, and then all of a sudden they just took away my access. So, of course, now my
really?
analytics on Instagram aren't really good, and when it's not good, Instagram doesn't want to push your content. So. I've been struggling the last month to try and figure out ways of how to fix that. So that's the biggest thing I'm working on because my account, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, but
No, no. Go
it
ahead.
shouldn't be stuck at 25. That should be at like 100K right now by the rate that I was growing before Instagram just tried to, take it away. So I'm there with that. In terms of TikTok, yeah, it's just me being me, and TikTok is easier to be yourself, to be honest, because it's
Yeah,
as aesthetically pleasing.
that's true. Yeah. Hey, well, if again Instagram keeps trying to stop you from getting for more likes. Get up Zuckerberg's go
I
give him
want
a call and be like, hey man, what are you doing? Yeah, sure. Have like a celebrity boxing match, and then you beat him, and then you get you get like millions of likes, and you're good.
give me my Instagram back.
That's right, and then you have like the whole diss tracks coming out, and yeah, that's awesome though. Yeah, like it's one thing I noticed too. Like I was thinking about recently is how cool like the content creating community is. Like like we all support each other in many ways.
Yep.
And yeah, no, it's a cool community to be in, and there's it's try to keep it as positive as possible. Obviously, like you can't. I mean, the internet can be a very dangerous place,
Oh yes.
as we know. So, but again, you can't control that. But honestly, I love posting content, and I know you do too. It's a cool community to be in, and it's awesome. Even like before I came on here, I was looking on the podcast on our Instagram page, and like
Mm.
somebody commented and said like, yeah, I love your content, and it's our new favorite podcast to cook
Hey.
to. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like that actually, I was like, that made my day. Like when you
Right?
hear like nice things like that, it's like it uplifts you in so many ways, right? So yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's cool to like where your viewers love the content. It just makes I think it just makes you feel good too, right? Like it in many in many ways. So yeah, I love doing this, and I think your setup's a little bit better than mine, but you've been doing it a lot longer than me. So you gotta start somewhere, and there's nothing wrong with yeah,
Exactly.
nothing wrong with
Nothing
what I
wrong.
got going on.
As
Yeah.
long as you start, that's it. As long as you start.
Exactly. Like even I remember like back then the Nelk boys, you probably know them, right? They're like pretty huge in Canada and US.
Hmm.
Again, they started off and just doing like their videos and like in these little Airbnbs in like Toronto and like Mississauga, and now like they're like all over the world. They're in California and Miami, like they're everywhere now. So again, you got to start somewhere, but again, they built a base over the years, and yeah, no, it's just again, just always got to start somewhere, and then yeah, for sure.
Hmm. And don't compare yourself and your progress to somebody else in the same field as you.
That's true. Yeah, that's one thing like I've like I used to just in life in general too. I used to kind of just look at myself and then look at, especially like again, Instagram is really bad for that. Like you just look at other people what they're doing with their lives, and it just seems so like sometimes it just seems so like glamorous, and you're just like, oh, I wish I was like doing that, and it gives you, puts you in a wrong state of mind, and yeah, like I'm like my attitude now is just like, hey, we're all working on something, and some people are just maybe a little bit head start, but that's okay.
That
We're just all our own journey, right? And some people make it faster, some people just take longer, and that's okay.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, um, I think probably should wrap it up for now. I think that's all I got for questions. But yeah, again, Johanna, thank you for joining us. You're welcome to come on whenever you can. Just hey, always welcome to come back on. I always encourage our
I
guests
appreciate.
to come back. Yeah, this was cool. So yeah, guys, don't forget. I always forget to do this in the beginning. I always say this. Don't
Mhm.
forget to like and subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I always forget this in the beginning. Like, what kind of podcast host am I?
It's okay. The call to action will come eventually.
Yeah, I know. Usually, like when you watch like those like videos and just content creators are always like, oh yeah, follow us on this, and this, like right away. And
Mhm.
it's okay though, whatever. But anyways, thanks for joining us. And yeah, so again, guys, this is Project 24, and we are signing off.
All right.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me.